Alright, let's be real. Multiplayer games are great until some 12-year-old annihilates you in a 1v1 and then spends the next 5 minutes roasting your entire existence. Sometimes you just want to play alone. No lag, no toxic teammates, no random guy screaming into his mic about how he totally carried the team. Well, today we're diving into 20 absolutely amazing single-player games that will make you laugh, cry, scream, and occasionally question reality itself. You ever play a game that makes you feel like a superpowered assassin, but also a strategic genius at the same time? That's Children of the Sun for you. Imagine if Hitman in a puzzle game had a baby, but then that baby was raised in a creepy cult and given a sniper rifle. You play as a girl with a mysterious past, hell-bent on revenge, and your enemies? Well, they're just standing around waiting to be creatively executed in the most satisfying way possible. The catch? You don't just shoot them one by one like a normal sniper. Instead, your bullets can curve, ricochet, and chain together like some kind of supernatural trick-shot extravaganza. It's like playing pool, but instead of balls, you're bouncing death around a room. And let's talk about the vibe. This game looks and feels like someone took a David Lynch fever dream, threw in some eerie cult aesthetics, and topped it off with a soundtrack that makes you question your sanity. Every level is a mind-bending puzzle where you need to carefully plan your shots, because every enemy taken down in the right order can create an insane domino effect of destruction. It's beautiful, it's twisted, and it makes you feel like a psychic John Wick on steroids. Seriously, if you like games that make you feel both super smart and slightly insane, Children of the Sun is an absolute must-play. Biomutant, the game that asked, what if we made an open-world RPG, but instead of boring humans, you play as a mutant raccoon kangaroo thing that knows martial arts? And let me tell you, it works. This game throws you into a post-apocalyptic world where everything is overgrown, technology is ancient, and your protagonist is basically Rocket Raccoon if he trained under Bruce Lee. You don't just fight enemies, you stylishly karate chop them into next week, all while wielding crazy weapons like electrified swords, steampunk guns, and whatever you can scavenge from the ruins of civilization. Oh, and did I mention that you can genetically modify yourself like some kind of deranged mad scientist? Want to be a huge, tanky beast? Go for it. Prefer to be a tiny, fast ninja rat? No problem. The level of customization in this game is so ridiculous that by the time you're done, you might not even recognize your own character. And the best part? The narrator. Yes, there's a full-on Morgan Freeman wannabe narrating everything you do, from fighting to looting, like you're in some kind of weird nature documentary about rabid furries. The open world is gorgeous, the combat is insane, and the game lets you be as ridiculous as you want. Biomutant is an absolute fever dream of a game, and honestly, we should be grateful it even exists.
A real match. Upshot.
This game will emotionally destroy you. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons starts off all sweet and innocent like a Pixar movie, but by the end you'll be crying into your controller wondering how you got so attached to two little dudes who barely even talk. The game has a super unique control scheme where you control both brothers at the same time. Yes, you heard that right. Your brain will feel like it's being ripped in half as you try to move them separately, solve puzzles, and not make them run into walls like drunken toddlers. But once you get the hang of it, it's an absolute masterpiece. You embark on a journey filled with wonder, danger, and some of the most beautifully crafted environments ever seen in an indie game. You'll climb giant cliffs, fly on massive birds, and even help out a lonely troll. Yes, trolls need love too. But then, just when you think everything's going fine, bam! Emotional gut punch out of nowhere. This game doesn't pull punches. It makes The Last of Us look like a Disney movie. And the ending? Oh boy. Let's just say, if you don't shed at least one tear, you might be a robot. Seriously, brothers. A Tale of Two Sons is an unforgettable experience that will warm your heart and then completely shatter it. What if I told you there's a game where your greatest enemy is yourself? No, not in a metaphorical, I need to overcome my inner demons kind of way. I mean literal copies of yourself hunting you down, learning your every move, and evolving into smarter, deadlier versions of you. Welcome to Echo, a game that takes be careful how you play to a terrifying new level. You're stuck in a massive, ridiculously beautiful palace in space, filled with AI clones that mimic your actions. If you sprint, they learn to sprint. If you shoot, they learn to shoot. If you crouch walk like a sneaky little gremlin, guess what? Now they're all sneaky little gremlins too. It's like a horror movie where your worst nightmare is your own gameplay choices. Every few minutes, the lights go out, and when they come back on, all your clones have updated with your latest techniques. So yeah, good luck trying to cheese your way through this one. And the best part? It's not just a gimmick. The story is actually really deep and filled with sci-fi mystery. It's like 2001, a space odyssey mixed with a roguelike stealth horror game, and it's absolutely genius. If you ever wanted to know what it feels like to fight your own bad habits in real time, Echo is waiting to humble you. Okay, imagine this. You wake up in a post-apocalyptic world filled with medieval knights, high-tech robots, crazy cultists, and mutant monsters. And somehow, all of them are completely normal in this world. Welcome to Elex 2, a game that took every cool idea in sci-fi and fantasy, threw them in a blender and said, yeah, this works. And you know what? It actually does, in the weirdest, most janky, yet endearing way possible. Developed by Piranha Bytes, aka the kings of Eurojank RPGs, Elex 2 is a game where you can join different factions, explore a massive open world, and most importantly, fly around with a freaking jetpack. That's right, while other RPGs make you climb mountains like some peasant, Elex 2 lets you soar over them like a post-apocalyptic Iron Man. The combat, hilariously clunky, but once you get used to it, it's actually pretty deep. The world, insanely detailed, full of lore and weirdly immersive. The dialogue, let's just say it has that translated from German charm where everyone talks like they're reading lines off a cereal box, but in the best way possible. If you love games that feel like they were made with 100% passion and 0% corporate polish, Elex 2 is your next obsession. You ever wake up and think, wow, I wish I was stuck in a dreamy, puzzle-filled world that feels like my brain just downloaded a fever dream from the Matrix? Well, congratulations! EverForward has got you covered. You play as a little girl named Maya, who, surprise, surprise, is trapped in a mysterious, futuristic landscape filled with puzzles that make you question both your intelligence and your life choices. The game throws you into mind-bending challenges where you manipulate cubes, dodge creepy security robots, and push buttons like your life depends on it, because, well, it kinda does. It's like Portal had a baby with a Studio Ghibli movie, and that baby was raised by an evil AI that really wants to see you struggle. The art style? Absolutely stunning. Soft pastels, dreamlike architecture, and a vibe that makes you feel like you're floating through someone else's subconscious. But don't be fooled by the pretty visuals, because some of these puzzles will melt your brain faster than trying to understand your tax returns. And the story? Oh, it's one of those deep, emotional, what is life kind of narratives that slowly reveals itself while you suffer through the increasingly difficult levels. If you enjoy getting your neurons fried while experiencing some of the most beautiful sci-fi dreamscapes ever made, EverForward is an absolute must-play. Look, I know what you're thinking. Do I really need another Lord of the Rings game? And the answer is yes, absolutely, without question. Because Shadow of War isn't just another fantasy RPG. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet of orc-smashing, fortress-conquering, army-building madness that makes you feel like the ultimate Middle-earth badass. You play as Talion, a ranger who's basically possessed by an immortal ghost elf, because sure, why not? And together you decide to do the reasonable thing, build your own army and overthrow Mordor. But the real star of the show, the freaking Nemesis system. This game takes every orc you encounter, gives them a name, a personality, and a deeply personal grudge against you. 1 second, you're decapitating some random goblin. Next thing you know, he's back with a metal jaw, a vendetta, and an unhealthy obsession with making your life miserable. These orcs hold grudges harder than your ex, and they will come back to ruin your day when you least expect it. And let's talk about the combat. Fluid, brutal, and full of slow-motion decapitations that make you feel like Aragorn on steroids. If you ever wanted to go full dictator mode and raise your own army of chaotic murder goblins, Shadow of War is your dream come true.
The ring will give us an army, and then it will give us Mordor.
Know how many teeth the character. You heard the news about me this evening, right?
They are powerless to resist.
What's that? You want more? Wish I was at the train hard, you'll bite.
If BioShock, Fallout, and a fever dream had a wild night together, Atomic Heart would be the result. This game throws you into a Soviet sci-fi utopia gone horribly wrong, where robots were supposed to make life easier, but instead, they decided murder is way more fun. You play as Major P3, a guy with a name that sounds like a failed rapper, but don't let that fool you. He's a one-man army ready to punch, shoot, and electrocute his way through this weird alternate history disaster. The combat? Pure insanity. You've got telekinesis, ice blast, shock powers, and a talking AI glove that insults you while you commit absolute war crimes against evil mannequins and flying death drones. The enemies? Oh, just a collection of nightmare-fuel robots, mutant monstrosities, and overly aggressive vending machines that look like they came straight out of a Soviet fever dream. The open world is an eerie mix of 1950s optimism and we accidentally created a robot apocalypse energy, and the whole game plays like someone dared a team of developers to just go nuts. It's weird, it's chaotic, and it's one of the most visually unique shooters out there. If you like games that make you go, "What the hell did I just play?" Atomic Heart is calling your name. This game isn't just a first-person shooter, it's a first-person action movie that someone compressed into the most chaotic, over-the-top Michael Bay explosion fest you've ever seen. You play as Shelia, yes that's her name, a secret agent who has absolutely no chill and fights like she's starring in an anime that forgot what physics are. Guns? Yeah, she's got them. Swords? Of course. Jet freaking packs? You better believe it. The combat is a ridiculous mix of Call of Duty, Devil May Cry, and I have no idea what's happening, but it looks awesome energy. You can slice up enemies in mid-air, deflect bullets with your sword, launch people into the sky, then shotgun them back down before they even hit the ground. The story? Look, no one plays this game for the plot. Something about ancient relics, time anomalies, evil corporations, blah blah blah. All you need to know is that everything explodes, and Shelia is basically an anime John Wick with a jetpack. And the best part? This game was basically made by one dude. One guy. If that's not enough reason to support this absolute masterpiece of chaos, I don't know what is.
Shelia, there are several enemy ships closing in.
What should I do?
The ship's armor should be able to protect them.
You ever play a game that makes you feel like the coolest person in the universe even though you have zero idea what's going on? That's Astral Chain. Platinum Games decided that normal action games weren't crazy enough, so they made a game where you control two characters at the same time, a cyberpunk cop and their chained demon pet. That's right, you're not just fighting enemies, you're double fighting enemies. The combat is so fast-paced and stylish, it makes other action games look like they're moving in slow motion. You can punch, shoot, slash, summon giant mechs, and even suplex monsters while flipping through the air like a futuristic ninja cop from The Matrix. The game takes place in a neon-lit cyberpunk dystopia filled with mysterious portals, insane technology, and a government that definitely isn't hiding anything suspicious. Spoiler, they totally are. The visuals? Absolutely stunning. The music? A mix of techno, rock, and I need this on my workout playlist immediately. And the gameplay? It's like trying to pat your head and rub your stomach while also defeating an interdimensional alien invasion. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be pulling off insane combos like you were born to do it. If you love fast-paced action and games that make you feel like an anime protagonist, Astral Chain is a no-brainer. Ever wanted to be a 10-foot-tall blue space elf riding a dragon while shooting arrows at evil space marines? Well, congrats, your oddly specific dream is now a reality. Avatar. Frontiers of Pandora drops you into James Cameron's fever dream of glowing plants, floating mountains, and way too many shades of blue, where you play as a Na'vi warrior fighting against the big evil humans, TM, who just can't seem to leave nature alone. The world is stunning. Every leaf, waterfall, and giant alien bug looks like it came straight out of a screensaver from the future. And unlike the movies, where you mostly just watch blue people run around, here you actually get to be one, jumping, gliding, and riding your very own flying murder lizard across Pandora's wild landscapes. The combat is wild. Bow and arrows versus futuristic machine guns in a battle that totally shouldn't work but somehow does. You can sneak through the jungle like an alien ninja, or go full Rambo Smurf and wreck an entire military base with a spear. It's basically Far Cry, but with more bioluminescence, more flying, and 100% more tail-bra bonding rituals. If you ever watched Avatar and thought, man, I want to do that, this game lets you live the dream. You ever wanted a paranormal soap opera where you make life-altering decisions while also occasionally wrecking everything with telekinesis? Well, Beyond, Two Souls is here to deliver. Starring Elliot Page and Willem Dafoe, yes, that Willem Dafoe, this game is basically an interactive movie where you play as Jodie, a girl with a mysterious ghost buddy named Aiden who may or may not be the world's most passive-aggressive poltergeist. 1 minute, you're a sad kid being bullied. The next, you're an international super spy karate-kicking enemies in the face. And then you're suddenly homeless and trying to start a campfire with your ghost powers. It's an emotional roller coaster that goes from heartbreaking drama to full-on paranormal mayhem faster than you can say plot twist. The gameplay? Mostly quick-time events, dialogue choices, and using your invisible ghost friend to scare the absolute crap out of people. Want to knock over coffee cups for no reason? You can. Want to possess a dude and make him start punching his own friends? That's an option too. If you love cinematic storytelling, emotional gut punches, and throwing objects across the room with your mind just because you can, Beyond Two Souls is a must-play.
I was so afraid I would never see you again. I've missed you so much, Jodie. I've missed you so much. What happened? What did they do to you? The drugs they gave me. me in this hell. There's nothing.
If a deeply religious fever dream mixed with dark comedy and absolute chaos sounds like your kind of thing, then congratulations. You're gonna love Indica. This game throws you into the life of a nun who is definitely having a bad day because she's suddenly hearing the voice of Satan himself in her head. And let's just say, he is not the most helpful life coach. You'll wander through gritty, cold, Soviet-era Russia, trying to do nun things while also dealing with the fact that your inner demon buddy won't shut up. The gameplay is a mix of puzzle solving, sneaking around, and questioning everything you thought you knew about reality. It's artsy, weird, and full of philosophical brain-melting moments, but then, bam, out of nowhere, something insanely funny or deeply horrifying happens, and suddenly you're questioning if the game is genius or just messing with you. 1 minute, you're having a deep existential crisis. The next, Satan is cracking jokes about how lame your outfit looks. It's the kind of game that sticks with you long after you've finished it, mostly because you're still trying to figure out what the hell just happened. If you love bizarre indie masterpieces that make you laugh, cry, and scream, "What is going on?" in equal measure, Indica is a must-try.
Sorry.
Jusan is what happens when someone takes rock climbing, turns it into a meditative Zen-like experience, and then cranks the beauty level up to 1000. You play as a lone traveler scaling a mysterious abandoned tower so massive it makes Mount Everest look like a speed bump. But don't worry, you've got a cute little water spirit as your buddy, because every great game needs a mascot that makes you go, ah. The climbing mechanics are so good that even if you have the arm strength of a wet spaghetti noodle in real life, this game makes you feel like a pro. There's no combat, no time limits, no random explosions for no reason, just pure, peaceful adventure. Every handhold you grab, every ledge you pull yourself onto, and every breathtaking view you discover feels like a reward. It's basically ASMR for your soul. But instead of listening to someone whisper into a microphone, you're conquering nature's biggest obstacle course. If you love games that are relaxing, beautiful, and make you feel like a total climbing god, Jusan is your next addiction. If Ori and the Blind Forest and the Lion King had a baby, and that baby decided to emotionally ruin your entire existence, you'd get Neva. This game throws you into a breathtaking, hand-drawn world where you, a young warrior, must protect your adorable giant wolf companion from the darkness that's consuming everything. And if that already sounds like it's going to make you cry, just wait, it gets worse. Neva isn't just gorgeous to look at, it's also an emotional wrecking ball that smashes you right in the heart every 5 minutes. You'll bond with your wolf buddy, raise them from a tiny pupper to a majestic battle-ready guardian, and just when you're getting attached, bam, feelings. So many feelings. The gameplay mixes platforming, puzzles, and fast-paced combat as you fight against the spreading corruption trying to destroy everything you love. Every frame of this game looks like a living painting, and the orchestral soundtrack is basically designed to make your soul explode with emotions. If you have even the tiniest bit of a heart, Neva will grab it, squeeze it, and leave you staring at the credits in absolute devastation. Play it, cry, love it, repeat. You ever wanted to be the time-traveling action hero that Hollywood keeps forgetting to cast you as? Well, Quantum Break is basically a sci-fi roller coaster where you get to shoot bad guys while pausing, rewinding, and fast-forwarding time like some kind of interdimensional DJ. You play as Jack Joyce, a dude who wakes up one day and realizes, hey, I can now control time, might as well break every law of physics just for fun. And oh boy, does the game let you do that. Bullets freeze mid-air, enemies get stuck in awkward slow-motion poses, and entire buildings collapse and uncollapse while you just casually walk through the mess like the coolest action star in history. The best part? The game also has an actual TV show built into it. Yes, they filmed real-life episodes that change based on your decisions. So basically, it's a game, a Netflix binge, and a PhD in time physics all rolled into one. If you've ever wanted to feel like Doctor Strange with a machine gun, Quantum Break is the game for you.
Get round! No, 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 no! Will, you alright? Define alright.
Remember Me, the cyberpunk masterpiece that everyone somehow forgot existed, which is ironic because the entire game is about memory manipulation. You play as Neelan, a badass memory hunter in Neo-Paris where corporations have turned human thoughts into a product. Basically, people willingly trade their memories the way we trade Netflix passwords, and shocker, it totally backfires. Your job? Break into people's heads, mess with their memories, and occasionally beat the absolute crap out of futuristic goons with parkour-infused kung fu. The combat feels like Batman. Arkham City had a sci-fi baby, and the memory remixing mechanic lets you literally rewrite people's pasts to change their present. Oh, and the city? Absolutely stunning. It's like if Blade Runner and Assassin's Creed got together and said, let's make something ridiculously cool. If you love cyberpunk vibes, high-flying combat, and screwing with people's minds in the most hilarious ways possible, Remember Me is a game you won't forget, even if the world did.
Obey!
Let's play another game.
Okay, Visage is not for the faint of heart. If you enjoy peace, happiness, and sleeping soundly at night, do yourself a favor and skip this one. But if you're the type who loves scaring yourself stupid in the dark, welcome to hell. This game is basically PT on steroids, throwing you into a haunted house so terrifying, even ghosts are probably like, nah, I'm out. You play as some poor soul trapped in a nightmare of flickering lights, creepy whispers, and doors that open just enough for you to regret your life choices. There's no combat, no safe spaces, and no mercy, just you, your flashlight, and the overwhelming feeling that something is always watching. The game's scares aren't just cheap jump scares either. Oh no, they crawl under your skin and set up camp there. The house changes constantly, ghosts mess with your mind, and sometimes the scariest thing is your own imagination. If you love horror games that break your spirit and make you rethink your love for gaming, Visage is peak nightmare fuel. Just don't play it alone, or at night, or at all. Imagine if Sekiro, Devil May Cry, and a martial arts movie had a wild, chaotic love child. That's Bloody Spell. This game doesn't care about hand-holding, tutorials, or your personal well-being. It just throws you into a world where you're a kung fu warrior on a revenge mission, and the only way forward is to slice, dodge, and backflip your way through hordes of demonic enemies like an absolute wuxia legend. The combat is insane. It's fast, brutal, and lets you chain together ridiculous combos that make you feel like a god. The game also has this cool system where the more enemies you kill, the stronger you get, but at a cost. Because of course, power always comes with a spooky blood curse. The environments are dripping in dark fantasy vibes with gloomy temples, haunted forests, and way too many monsters with too many arms. If you love stylish combat, ridiculous acrobatics, and games that make you feel like the main character in a martial arts epic, Bloody Spell is ready to kick your teeth in and make you love it. You ever wanted to play a medieval survival horror game where the real enemy is 10,000 plague-infested rats? No? Well, too bad, because A Plague Tale: Innocence is absolutely brilliant. You play as Amicia, a teenage girl trying to protect her adorable but suspiciously powerful little brother while escaping from the Inquisition, ruthless soldiers, and, oh yeah, literal waves of carnivorous rats. These rats don't just skitter around. They erupt from the ground like a biblical nightmare and will swarm anything that isn't standing in the light. The gameplay is a mix of stealth, puzzle solving, and trying not to freak out every time you hear squeaking noises. And just when you think, okay, it's just a game about rats, dark alchemy, horrifying experiments, and supernatural plot twists come flying at you. The story is heart-wrenching, the setting is disturbingly beautiful, and the tension never lets up. If you love cinematic storytelling, nerve-wracking suspense, and learning to fear rodents on a spiritual level, A Plague Tale: Innocence is one of the best single-player games you'll ever play.
Up there, Amicia!
I should be able to knock it down.
They've eaten them all.
Try not to look. We can't do anything for them now.
It's horrible.
I know. Come on.
Well, there you have it. 20 absolutely legendary single-player games you absolutely won't regret buying G. So now the big question is, which one are you playing first? Or better yet, how many of these are you going to impulse buy and then stare at in your backlog for 6 months? Don't lie, we all do it. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button like it owes you money, subscribe for more gaming chaos, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on the next epic list. Now go forth, play some incredible games, and most importantly, stay away from multiplayer lobbies.